So what happened after my daughter was born? Krystal was born on that day, on September 10th evening, maybe around 7:10 or 7:30. She was born. The whole night I spent just watching her, and then I was all tears, and I could not stop crying. And the baby, she was sweating, and I was, wiping off the sweat from her forehead, and then for most part of the night, she was holding my finger and would not let my finger go. And later on, I got tired, and then I had to sit. And all this while she was holding my finger, I was just kneeling down there, and then I had to sit somewhere and then watch her. And then she took her foot and she started putting it in her mouth. That was quite a scene. And after that, maybe, yeah, September 10th she was born, and I later on I left some money with my wife, and then I started to back towards Mysore. I had gone there on my bike, my new Pulsar. Then Pulsar was just introduced to the market, and I came back to Mysore. All along the way I was so very happy that my daughter was born, and I was a father. And I began to start saving money, and did all those things what was required at that point in time. Mostly saving money for the baby. And like this, 2 months passed. September passed, October passed, and my then wife Sharon, she told that her parents were finding it difficult to maintain her, and then that she would like to return to Mysore. Then we said fine, but then she was insisting that the baby should be named as soon as possible, and I could not make out why there was such urgency to name the baby. And I always remembered this, what Dev Kumar had told, that pastor in Hassan, who is in Hassan right now, at Shanti Church, Hassan. He had told that he had asked me to name the baby Ananya, saying that she was different. And then I wanted the baby to be named not as Ananya, but something else. Like Krystal was on my mind, and I had to give her a second name, another name. And for that I searched, and then internet was new, and then I was searching for baby names, and then I found this is a Russian name. Roshvina is a Russian name, and if I remember correctly, and it means white rose, because she was so pure white, and she had black eyes, and then she had this single dimple on her left side of her cheek. This was there, and then so I decided, this name was, and there was not much participation of my wife regarding the choice of the name, and then she didn't show any kind of interest at that point in time to select a name for the baby. So it was and then I told her, this is the name that I selected, and this is what it means, and she was fine with that. And the christening took place at Shanti Cathedral, Mangalore, and her father, Sharon's father himself, is a pastor, was a pastor, and then he only did the christening ceremony in the church. And it was on the day of my father's birthday, November 10th. November 10th is the day of my father's birth. And on that day, We all went, my mother, my father, and before that only my parents had already, visited Sharon and the baby. And on 10th we went, and then the christening took place, and then later on there was a meal, and then we had to come back. Immediately. In the next day we came in the car back to Mysore, and then we had to arrange the things. Before that only we had arranged everything, for the way to put the baby, and that's how it happened. It was a Kannada service, and I have a lot of pictures. All of the time I was holding the baby. The baby was in my arms. Krystal was in my arms, and the ceremony got over. The christening ceremony got over. Hundreds of pictures for the christening ceremony also. And so it happened. This is how the christening was made of Krystal. When Krystal was named Krystal Rashvina Sujay.